Keeping up with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure, here we are with a remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students! Good morning, class. Today, I, your teacher Inacia D'Souza from Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College would like to present to you a lesson from Standard 7th in English entitled Odd One In. Many of us would like to be different, but does it pay to be different? Let us try to learn from the heroine in the story whose name is Malti. Odd one in. How was the first day of school? Asked mother as Reema sat down for dinner. Okay, Reema shrugged. No lessons, just settling in. Any new girls in your class? Inquired her father, Mr. Sain. Only one, Malti, and she is funny, grimaced Reema as she helped herself to the salad. Why do you say that? Asked Mr. Sain. She can't speak much English. She has come from another state, sniffed Reema. As you know, children, the first day of school is very exciting for some, but for some, it's just the contrary. They find that it's the same old thing. And here, Reema's parents were very anxious to know how her first day of school was. So, when they were inquiring about it, she told them that there was a new child in her school whose name was Malti, and she was very funny. And this is the reason why Malti is called as the odd one in. Let us discover more by learning a few new words. Like for example, shrugged. What would it mean? It means to raise your shoulders slightly as if to say you don't care. That is to express indifference. Grimaced. An ugly twisted expression on a person's face expressing disgust. That means you are not very happy with what you have. Sniffed. To smell something by taking air in through your nose. Like for example, sometimes it is a pleasant smell or sometimes an unpleasant smell. Can you guess the different expressions learnt above correctly? I'm sure you will. The first one is shrugged. The second one, to my right, extreme right, is grimaced. Look at that funny face, isn't it? Funny, of course it is. And then, look at the girl below. She's trying to take the smell of the medicine. She's not happy with it, so she's sniffing. Let's move ahead now. Naming one at the other end of the country. Oh, children from that state are supposed to be clever. They are especially good at maths, said Mr. Sain quietly. This shows that Mr. Sain was appreciative of children who live in the south as they are gifted in mathematical ability. Well, this one does not seem smart at all. Oily hair, bindi and all. Good morning, teacher, mimicked Reema. Her parents exchanged glances. Reema was their only child. They doted on her, but she could be insufferable at times. I do hope you and your friends will not make things too difficult for Malti, sighed Mr. Sain as he rose from the table. Here we can see two different contrasts. The parents of Reema, who are very appreciative of things, but Reema, who does not appreciate things. Moreover, she finds it very difficult to adjust with different things that she is not accustomed to, and therefore she looks down on others. Is that a good attitude? Now let us see who had good qualities, Malti, Rima, or her parents. Doted, to be extremely fond of. I would now like you to think of who was extremely fond of Rima. Yes, her parents. So, I hope your parents will be doting on you as well. After all, you are the apple of their eyes, aren't you? Insufferable at times, unbearable. I know, children, sometimes your neighbor sitting beside you can be unbearable, can be very irritable, isn't it? Now, let us continue a little further. Rima and her gang had decided to do just that. And what was it? They had decided to make Malti's life miserable. Let us see how. Next morning, the minute Malti entered the class, they all chorused. Chorused means they all sang together. Good morning. Poor Malti. She did not realize that they were making fun of her. She beamed back at them and replied, Good morning. Shehnaz giggled. Why do you put so much oil on your hair? She asked rudely. Malti looked offended. Offended means she was hurt, but did not reply. And the skirt so long, said Claire cattily. Here, beamed means to smile, to let your face aglow, fully bright like a sunflower. And cattily means to speak in a way that is very rude, that will hurt others. Look at the rude face of the man below. Malti flushed means she grew red in the face. She was about to say something when teacher entered. As the class progressed means continue, everyone was surprised to see Malti raise her hand whenever teacher asked a question. Yes, Malti, you answer, said teacher. Malti answered correctly and teacher nodded in appreciation. Nodded her head in appreciation means that teacher was very happy with the answers that Malti gave. When Rima recounted this at home, it means that when Rima went home, she told her parents what had happened in school. Her mother said, sounds like a clever girl. That means her mother too appreciated Malti. But this did not make Rima happy. She said, What is the use? Said Rima. Uncharitably. Uncharitably means not in a kind way. Her English is so atrocious. Atrocious means ugly, horrible. Now time for us to learn some new words. Recounted means retold. Like for example, can you recount an incident which was pleasant? For example, a holiday memory, something that made you really very happy. Atrocious means horrible. Look at this man. He does not find that medicine up to his liking. Look at the face he's making. Funny, isn't it? And look at the girl to my right. She is feeling very sad because she has been suffering as others are making fun of her. Uncharitably means in a way that is unkind or unfair. What does this tell us? That we should be kind to others, no matter how good or bad they are, or what good or bad they do to us. The same may be said of your Hindi, countered Mr. Sain sharply. He was getting quite sick of Rima's attitude. Now, Rima's father was very stern and firm. He was not lenient. The word counter means to speak or act in opposition to. He wanted his child to learn the correct values in life. Don't our parents work hard to give us the right values in life? Shouldn't we respect them? Let's continue further. Even Mrs. Sain did not like it. That night, Rima's parents discussed the matter. We put Rima in a good school to make her smart and confident. I would like to stop here for a little while and think of why our parents put us to school. Isn't this the same dream that all our parents share? Let's continue further. I'm afraid she's turning into quite a little snob, said Mr. Sain sadly. Let's stop here for a little while and see why Mr. Sain was concerned. Was Rima living up to their expectations? To some extent, yes. She was bright, she was smart, she was clever, she excelled in everything. But there was one negative trait, one negative characteristic that she had, and that was she would look down on others and she would think that she is the best. Do we have this character trait in us? Then we should do away with this character trait as quickly as possible because it is not a healthy one. Let's move a little further. The following Saturday was the inter-house singing competition. Rima, who was participating in the English song category, was surprised to see Malti's name in the list of participants. Little did Rima expect Malti to sing, and this surprised her to no end. Let's continue a little further. For the Hindi song category, Oily Plats sings also, she said snidely to Claire. Snidely means to speak in a mocking or in an ironic way. That means to make fun of somebody and say something. Even this is not a very good characteristic, isn't it? Now, what does Claire say? Croaks, you mean, giggled Claire. They were to be proved wrong. Malti sang beautifully. She had a melodious and well-trained voice. Rima and her gang had decided to jeer when Malti sang, but there was such absolute silence that they did not dare to. They were sure to get caught. So, even though they had made plans in order to stop Malti from singing, they were not able to do so because they knew that if there was one wrong move on their part, they would be caught red-handed. Let's move a little further. When Malti finished, the principal was the first one to start clapping, followed by the teachers and students. No one was surprised when Malti won the first prize. This reminds me of little children going up and singing on stage in reality shows, like when we look at India's Got Talent. And when you go up on stage and everyone stands and claps for you, it is really an exhilarating feeling, isn't it? Many a times you too must have felt this kind of feeling. And with this great feeling today, it is time for us to say goodbye. We will continue with part 2 on another day. Until then, I wish you a very happy day. Stay safe, stay blessed, and do your best. God bless you.